Kristina Ojuland, Mikhail Khodorkovsky was freed by Putin, and on contrary to what we expected, the relationship is becoming much, much worse than it was before the so much anticipated freeing of Mr. Khodorkovsky. So the upcoming resolution, what's the essence of it?
Well, I think the signal is very clear from the European Parliament that we don't believe in facades. Releasing Khodorkovsky is, of course, a very positive step. But if we see in parallel new arrests among the political activists from the political opposition, then this release is not serious. It's just a facade, but behind the facade in Russia, the other life continues.
But during the summit, EU-Russia summit, we understood that there are a lot of dividing lines, like the Eastern Partnership, for example. Does Russia see it still as a threat?
Well, the question of our eastern neighbors is very serious, and we are very much concerned that it may become even more serious after the Olympic Games. We see what is happening in Ukraine. The situation is very, very fragile. And also the countries like Georgia and Moldova, they are very much fearing that some unpleasant steps may be done on behalf of Kremlin after the Olympic Games. Therefore, I think in the European Union policy priority should be very clearly signing as soon as possible the association agreements with Georgia and with Moldova, and also be very, very much active trying to calm down the situation in Ukraine and find a political solution.
Kristina Ojuland, what about the WTO? Because there are a lot of complaints about Russian WTO not respecting its own engagements. So does the European Union have any mechanism to influence the situation?
Well, this resolution that we're going to adopt is exactly now proposing to the European Commission to consider to take the countermeasures on the situation in trade with Russia, because we have been already talking about this breaking the WTO rules more than half a year. Commission and the Commissioner Karl de Gucht has taken this question to the WTO, but we don't have a clear and final results in this respect. And then trade is very, very concrete. Business is business, and I think that the European Union needs to take also countermeasures to put a very clear message on the table that, listen, this is not the game, but we are going to continue with you.
Kristina Ojuland, and the last issue, of course, it's human rights, again coming back to human rights, because what Europe can do, because there were so many resolutions, it's an air of frustration that nothing really in essence has changed.
And will not be as long Putin and his friends will be in Kremlin. This is not my own personal view. It's a very broadly spread view here in the European Union. We have seen it already so many years. We have been adopting so many resolutions. We have tried to have a dialogue on this issue, and actually European Commission does have the permanent dialogue on human rights with Russia. But there are no results, and there is no will from Putin's side to change.
Do you think it makes sense to see each other less, not more? Because we know that in this resolution there is a proposal to reduce the format and meet with the Russians in the same way as with the other countries once a year. Do you think it makes sense?
Well, at the same time, as we all know, Russia is a very important partner to the European Union on global strategic issues. Of course, we need to meet each other. But on the other hand, what comes directly to the EU-Russia relations, the concrete issues like visa liberalization or trade issues, I think that it will make sense to meet if we have really some clear agreements on table. Otherwise, it will be more and more disappointing, not only the people who are meeting around this table, but also the citizens of Europe. They probably waited more messages from this summit, and that was not delivered.
Thank you very much, Kristina Ojuland.